Destiny Corona. Yesterday at work, we were informed that the hospital was switching into disaster mode. To be honest, the news initially overwhelmed me. I had not expected the situation to be so serious, yet strangely, I did not feel afraid. I simply felt ready. Why? Only now do I understand what destiny means to me. When I was 25, it seemed that all my dreams had been shattered. After immigrating to America from Russia, I had to give up journalism, the profession I loved. At the time, it felt like a devastating loss. But now, a quarter of a century later, I understand that it was necessary. I was destined to be in medicine from the very beginning. As a child, my favorite game was not playing house, but playing doctors. Back then, before the AIDS epidemic changed medical practices, syringes were made of glass and metal and sterilized by boiling. If the glass cracked, they were discarded. My friends and I would sometimes run to the village hospital and beg the nurses to give us their old, damaged syringes. What a thrill it was to hold a real syringe in my hands. Even if it had a small crack, it still felt authentic as I pushed the plunger and watched a few drops of our imaginary medicine squirt out, just like the nurses did. To be honest, I still love syringes. By the end of high school, however, my dreams had shifted toward journalism. I was fascinated by the excitement, adventure, and unpredictability of the profession. Although I now believe I was destined to become a nurse, the universe allowed me to pursue those youthful dreams. I studied journalism at university, where, coincidentally, there was also a military department. As part of that training, I received a certificate as a civil defense nurse. Looking back, it seems the universe was quietly preparing me even then. I achieved more than I had dreamed. During my student years, I unexpectedly discovered radio journalism and fell in love with the power of sound and the spoken word. Eventually, I became a fairly well-known young radio journalist in Russia's Khabarovsk territory. Then I moved to America. It was journalism that brought me into contact with a charming young American. After a couple of years, I followed him to the United States. But soon, because of a series of difficult circumstances and personal mistakes, I found myself alone with a baby in my arms. I had to start over from nothing. My situation was desperate. A single mother, an immigrant, struggling to survive.